Do you know why we celebrate New Year's Day? Let's dive into the annals of history back to a time when ancient civilizations were laying the groundwork for many of our modern traditions. Among these were the Babylonians and Romans, who were among the first to celebrate New Year's Day. The Babylonians, living thousands of years ago, observed their new year around the time of the vernal equinox. This is the moment in mid-March when daylight and darkness are nearly equal, symbolizing balance and the start of a fruitful growing season. Their 11-day New Year festival, known as Akitu, was a time for renewal where they would plant crops, crown a new king, or reaffirm their loyalty to the reigning king. Meanwhile, the Romans had a different approach. In 153 BC, they marked the new year with the vernal equinox, aligning their calendar with the start of the military and agricultural season. However, this would change during the reign of Julius Caesar. Enter Julius Caesar, a name known to many as one of the most influential figures in history. In 46 BC, Caesar introduced a new, solar-based calendar, a significant improvement on the earlier lunar-based one. This Julian calendar, as it would come to be known, was more in sync with the seasons. But Caesar also made a crucial change. He declared January 1st as the start of the new year. Why January 1st, you might ask? The answer lies in the Roman god Janus, for whom January is named. Janus was unique as he had two faces, one looking back into the past and the other looking forward into the future. What better symbol for the new year, a time for reflection and anticipation? And so, the tradition of celebrating the new year on the first day of January was born. As we count down the final seconds of December 31st each year, we're echoing a tradition that dates back over 2 millennia, a testament to our shared human history. Ever wondered how the celebration spread across the globe? To answer that, we need to journey back in time and trace the footsteps of the Roman Empire. As the Romans expanded their territory far and wide, they brought with them their customs and traditions, including the celebration of New Year's Day on January 1st. However, it wasn't as simple as just adopting a date. The spread of New Year's Day was a complex process, intricately linked with the power dynamics of the time. As the Roman Empire stretched from the sun-drenched coasts of Spain to the rugged highlands of Scotland, and from the bustling markets of the Middle East to the steppes of Central Asia, the tradition of celebrating the New Year on January 1st began to seep into the cultural fabric of these diverse regions. Yet not all societies were quick to embrace this Roman tradition. Many cultures, particularly those outside the direct influence of Rome, continued to celebrate New Year's Day in March, aligning their festivities with the spring equinox. This practice was a testament to the enduring significance of agricultural cycles in shaping social and cultural norms. But the turning point came in the 16th century with the adoption of the Gregorian calendar. Named after Pope Gregory XIII and instituted in 1582, the Gregorian calendar was a refinement of the Julian calendar, which was itself a product of Roman ingenuity. In reaffirming January 1st as New Year's Day, the Gregorian calendar became the definitive timekeeper for much of the world. The spread of this calendar was not just a matter of practicality, but also a symbol of the growing interconnectedness of different regions, cultures, and peoples. And so, as the Gregorian calendar spread, so too did the tradition of celebrating New Year's Day on January 1st. It was a change that transcended borders and cultures, uniting people in a shared moment of reflection and celebration. With the spread of the Gregorian calendar, New Year's Day on January 1st became a global tradition. How do we celebrate New Year's Day in the modern world? Well, across the globe, traditions vary, but the common thread is the celebration of a fresh start. One of the most popular New Year's traditions involves making resolutions. As the old year closes and a new one begins, many people take a moment to set goals for the upcoming year. These resolutions often involve personal growth, health, and happiness, reflecting the universal desire for positive change. Now, moving on to the more vibrant side of celebrations, we can't ignore fireworks. The sky lights up as the clock strikes midnight, with cities around the world trying to outdo each other with their spectacular displays. From Sydney to London, Rio de Janeiro to New York, the night sky is transformed into a canvas of color and light, creating a spectacle that is watched by millions. Then there are the parades. Communities come together to wave goodbye to the old year and welcome in the new. Marching bands, elaborate floats, and costume performers fill the streets, creating a festive atmosphere that's hard to resist. For sports enthusiasts, football takes center stage on New Year's Day. Many families and friends gather around the television to cheer on their favorite teams in traditional bowl games. It's a day of rivalry, camaraderie, and of course, great food. Then there's the iconic Times Square ball drop. Since the early 20th century, people have gathered in Times Square to watch the ball descend as the final seconds of the year tick away. This tradition has grown into a global event, watched by millions on television and online. But no matter the tradition, be it resolutions, fireworks, parades, football, or the Times Square ball drop, the underlying sentiment is the same. As the old year fades and the new one dawns, we celebrate the possibility of what's to come. No matter where you are in the world, the new year signifies a fresh start. What are some symbols and superstitions associated with New Year's Day? As we all know, New Year's Day is more than just a date on the calendar. It's a celebration filled with symbols and superstitions that have been passed down through generations. The symbolism starts with the baby, an image that's long been associated with New Year's Day. This bundle of joy is a powerful symbol of rebirth and new beginnings. Just as a newborn child is a fresh start in the cycle of life, the new year is a fresh start in the cycle of the calendar. Now, on to the noise making. Have you ever wondered why we make so much noise at the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve? Well, this tradition dates back to ancient times when people believed that loud noises would ward off evil spirits and ensure a prosperous new year. Whether it's fireworks, church bells, or just banging pots and pans together, the idea is to make as much noise as possible to scare away any bad luck that might be lurking around. Next up, we have the tradition of first footing. This is a custom that's particularly popular in Scotland and northern England. The first person to set foot in your home after the stroke of midnight is your first footer. The ideal first footer is a tall, dark-haired man. He's seen as a bringer of good luck for the coming year. But if your first footer is a woman or a fair-haired man, that's considered bad luck. And if they come empty-handed, that's even worse luck. So, if you're planning on being someone's first footer this year, don't forget to bring a gift. These symbols and superstitions add an extra layer of cultural richness to our New Year's Day celebrations. They remind us that this isn't just a day for marking the passage of time, but a day for celebrating the hope and potential that comes with every new beginning. So, what have we learned about New Year's Day? Well, we've traveled back in time to explore the roots of New Year's Day celebrations. We learned that the ancient Babylonians were the first to observe New Year's Day nearly 4,000 years ago. They marked the occasion not in January, but in mid-March, when new crops were planted. Over time, the Romans shifted the calendar around, and eventually, January became the start of the year, something that has stuck with us to this day. We also discovered how New Year's Day spread across different cultures and societies. It was Julius Caesar who established January 1st as New Year's Day in 46 BC, but it wasn't until the adoption of the Gregorian calendar in the 16th century that the day was widely recognized. From there, the tradition of celebrating the New Year spread worldwide, each culture adding its own unique touch to the festivities. In our journey through time, we've seen how modern New Year's Day celebrations have evolved. From grandiose fireworks displays and Times Square's iconic ball drop, to intimate family gatherings and personal resolutions, the way we celebrate the New Year today is as diverse as the people who observe it. Yet, the underlying theme of a fresh start and new beginnings remains a universal constant. And let's not forget the symbols and superstitions associated with New Year's Day. From the tradition of first footing in Scotland, where the first person to enter a home after midnight brings good fortune, to the Spanish custom of eating 12 grapes at the stroke of midnight for 12 months of luck. These traditions add an extra layer of charm and intrigue to our New Year's Day celebration. So, there you have it. From ancient Babylon to modern-day Times Square, New Year's Day is more than just a date on the calendar. It's a global celebration that marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. Next time when you celebrate New Year's Day, remember the rich history behind this global celebration of new beginnings.